D.L. Hughley is the latest Hollywood actor attempting to paint President Trump as a racist. Watch this.
It's not just African Americans, it's gay, it is Muslims, it is Latins. So he clearly is a racist. Donald Trump is uncouth, he's not bright, he is inarticulate, he's an embarrassment.
Our next guest says language like that is only hurting race relations in the country even more. Joining us right now is writer, commentator, and active duty U.S. Army officer Jeremy Hunt. Jeremy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning. Great to be here with you.
Great to have you as well. So what did you make of Mr. Hughley's comments over on the other channel?
Well, I really think it's an example of just kind of how low the conversation about race has stooped in this country. I mean, when we look at these kinds of, when we hurl around, just flippantly hurling around the accusation of racism, it really, it's not helping the most vulnerable Americans among us. It's not leading to better policy for millions of Americans in our country. But really what it does is it ends up basically allowing the actual racists and white supremacists to kind of blend in with the masses. If everyone's a racist, then no one's a racist. And then we aren't able to actually call out the people that do deserve to be condemned.
Now, Jeremy, you wrote an op-ed on foxnews.com about this. Why did you decide to do that, and why are you speaking about it now?
Because I wanted to send a message that prejudice is prejudice. It doesn't matter which group against which the prejudice is directed. On all accounts and in all contexts, it should be condemned. And as we as a people, if we want to move forward and really do want to see progress in regards to race relations, we're going to have to elevate the conversation. I mean, we do have dialogue in this country, but it's this bickering back and forth. It's not meaningful dialogue. It's not productive conversations about what will lead to better outcomes for Americans. And so that's what I wanted to send. That's the message I wanted to send, is that I was raised in a home where I was taught to see people who they are and see their character and judge them and assess them on their character, not based on their skin color. And so if we don't see hearts change in this country, and if we don't really discard these kind of prejudgments that we have about people, I don't think that we will really see much progress in regards to race relations.
And in fact, Jeremy, you mentioned about being raised in a home. Your father was a minister, and he had a program back in the 90s. Explain that to us.
Yeah, so my father, Garland Hunt, who is my hero, he had a program called The Gospel in Black and White. The pun is that he was there with a white pastor, and they were preaching racial reconciliation. And the message really took speed, and a lot of people were really catching on and believing that, hey, hearts can change if we really look at each other as individuals and forgive one another and move forward. Then we can really see a lot of change in our country. And I'm grateful and so honored and blessed that that was the kind of message that I was brought up to believe, and it's the same message that I carry with me today.
Such a beautiful message. You know, I always look at everyone and I always say, we're all God's children. You know, he created us all beautifully, and we're all beautifully and wonderfully made, as the scripture says. What message do you have for people that are watching that might have bigotry in their hearts or racism in their hearts?
Well, the number one thing, and this is what my father always taught me, that racism is a sin. It's not a skin problem, it's a sin problem. And really, the only thing that can take that and heal us from that is God. And that's what I was brought up to believe, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Even my own father, he shares his testimony all the time, how he was brought up and he had these kind of prejudice towards whites. And it was really him giving his life to the Lord that changed him and then really changed his heart on the issues. And if we don't see that kind of change in our country, I think that we're going to be falling woefully behind as a nation in regards to these issues.
Well, your op-ed is terrific. If folks haven't read it, they can go to foxnews.com. Jeremy Hunt joined us today from Savannah. Sir, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Real
Jeremy.
nice chatting with you.
Thank you so much.